Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. Streaming, streaming, streaming. We have audio? Testing, testing, testing. Yes, we do. Sounds very tinny, though. Why is that? On the right, this is number 1. No, 1 and 2 are active. It's coming out the wrong one side. Check my audio mixer here. Down mix on. I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. Why is it so tinny sounding? Making all sorts of noise. It was kind of inside my shirt. Alright, what I am working on right now is some JavaScript work. Where's my, let me lower this desk a little bit. And it's kind of a complicated project. I need to immerse myself into some work and kind of figure out what it is I'm going to do. Here's a piece of paper, and I'm just going to outline it real quick. Yeah, if I had a pen. Sometimes it just gets stuck on the finding a pen part of it. Alright. It's dark here too. Let me get a pull of light over here. Hopefully this works. So light's really green looking. I think that'll work. Alright, this is a JavaScript project. Getting all sorts of... that's not long enough. That'll work. So the JavaScript project... How to start this? What time is it now? It's about 4 p.m. It's December 5th. And off the top of my head, the systems I need to do are something called display mirroring, in which the graphics on one browser screen are sent to another browser screen on the same network. Related to this is event recording and playback. And that is being able to capture what's happening not only on the other browser's display, but also any related events that are being detected. For example, like if someone clicks on something, or if someone has set up a filter that is detecting a certain condition for the simulation. This is for this educational project in which kids will be observing a bunch of other kids running around in front of them and monitoring their positions using the motion tracking camera driven graphics. And so we need to be able to log this and also replay it through the system. So this is directly related to the display mirroring. The next thing to do, Dan says, Sue wants to see my shirt. All right. This is my StarCats shirt, Susan. Can you see it? So hopefully that's working. All right. Back to the other camera. Actually, I guess I can go both cameras. I don't know if people can see this. So 1, 2, what's the third one? The third is file system organization. Since all of these browsers need to independently record and play back data, it needs to be stored at a central location, which is on the server, which is what implements the file server. And then for that to even happen, we also need to be able to identify which devices are saving which data, which means we need to have a device addressing scheme. Device addressing schema, which will help define the file system API. And all of this needs to work for me to be able to get on and doing this project. So I don't really have a clear idea where to start on this. I do have display mirroring working somewhat, so I might as well just review that and just see what it reminds me of. Let me close this off. And now I'm on here, and I need to start up the project. So I'm going to pull up a terminal window, and I'm going to slide this over here. I'm going to reduce the size so it fits. So I'm going to cd dev, cd play. That reminds me, I actually need to accept a pull request. So let me do that first, since other people are depending on that. So play. Let's open up source tree. Let's open up Sublime text. Let's embiggenify Sublime text. Let's go back to, oops, where'd it go? This quiver should be on this side. That should be over there. Actually, I want it over here. Let me switch back to play continuity so I can fill that in later. This is my GitHub source stuff. I need to pull the latest stuff off the repo. Now it looks like Ben already accepted it. Or did he just accept the pull request? Maybe he did already. I see one pull request here. Add to redundle. This was opened a day ago. Sample. Okay, this is cool. Let me just grab that and make sure it works. Now, how do I do that? So, and let's check this one out. It already exists. I guess I'll just do another fetch on this. Oh, quite a few. It'll let me switch to it. Yep. So we'll pull this repo. All kinds of stuff. Let's just see what changed. And it'll be easy to see in there. Let's see what files have changed. This won't really show me, will it? But these are all, just making sure that it's not touching any of system code that shouldn't be committed. Okay. I want to view all the changes. 40 commits into how many files? 25 files. App shell. That's okay. That's one of his. That's one of his. That's one of his. So I'll React. No, this looks pretty cool. He's okay. That's okay. Aim settings, mode, reducers, store, shell.js is acceptable to modify. It's up to the gulp file. Added Babel. What did you do here? Gulp source. Yeah, this is a lint pass. Oh, he's just ignoring them. can copy assets, that's where he's pulling it. That's fine. That looks okay to me. Looks clean. Let's see if it pulls. Over here, let me go into the right place. Oops. CD build, gulp. Let's make sure this runs. And I've updated my server to tell me what branch it's running. Oh, okay. I probably need to do an npm install. That will install all the new modules. Now this should run. Let. So this is the redundant pass. What should I do now? How do I test this? Conversation. It re-implements the existing bees teacher but uses solo React Redux. So let's go to, this should be localhost 3000. Redundant is here. And I need to pull up another browser window that implements, at least pulls up, this is bees, I think, yeah. Localhost 3000, bees, yeah, well, it seems to be working. And when I change this, it should change this side. Seek flowers, these are maps, I think. Oh, is it happening? Alright, show target flowers, blank hive, yeah, okay. So that all seems to be working there. Let's pull up another browser window and see if fake track is still working, which shouldn't matter, but it's always a test that I do. And that's there. It looks like there's a different, why is that scaled funny? It's kind of a funny size. Start timer. Timer seems to be working. It looks like it's, why is this taller than it needs to be? Start. Continue. It doesn't look like it's completely oh, it looks like the toggle's messed up. It's not completely in sync, but it seems to be working alright. And we don't have like the synchronization working here. But that's not his problem, it's my problem. Alright, so that actually seems to be working. I'm going to accept this pull request here. Close all this other stuff. Don't need that now. And looks good. Looks good. Nose and let's merge this pull request. And what did he say this was? Add sample redundant app. That's good. Closing comment. That's fine. Let me quit that process. Go back to source tree. Go back to my display list. Close that. Let's do a fetch. I think my dove is updated now. I probably should merge all these changes too. Pull. These are all display components. Store.js, what is that? Oh, that's probably one of his, that's the Redux store. A whole bunch of new things added. It's very exciting. Then I need to merge this into my branch. Merge. We want to merge from here. I don't need to do a commit. I just want the stuff. And I always just sort of double check the merge to see what this is. So I wonder what this yarn lock thing is. Again, I'm just double checking files, see what changes. I think this is all right. So I'm going to do the commit. This is my display list. DS display list with towels with new redundle example number 26. Is it number 26? I think it's number 26. How do I tell? Yes. Commit. Makes me up to date. I push this up to the repo. Okay. So I think we're all, now my code is all up to date with that. What branch is this? This is display list. That looks good. Let me do a git clean. Oops. I mean a gulp clean all. Just to nuke everything from my build, and let's rebuild this and see if it still works. Yes, we want to reload that. So I don't need that anymore. Let's go back to this port 3000. Let's pull up. And where is my display server code? Does this still work? There's the display server running. It seems to be losing. Oops. No, it still hasn't refreshed all the assets that I just purged. Although it's still, what's going on here? Off screen for WebGL, render warning, texture about the texture unit is not renderable. Oh, is this a new Chrome update? What version of Chrome is this? Where is that? Would that be settings? Where does it tell me what version of Chrome I'm running? I could have sworn that there was a about. Help about Google Chrome. This is. Nope, now it's updating. This was 542498. Dum 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 dum. Oh, now it's working. Too many WebGL errors. What's going on with that? Some of these backgrounds are no good. How did these get overwritten? I'm not keeping binary assets in the repo. We are actually reserving them from Dropbox. And these texture backgrounds are not controlled by me. I wonder if these have gone all screwy. Let me try to see if we get the same error. What was that? I saw a could not get BG frozen particle resources. Oh, this might be a problem with the merge. This is indeed no. UI bind activity HTML. we're getting a bad texture someplace. That one. I'll check the file. I'm not going to look at it. I'll just make a list right now of things to look at. So this is old. Clean up. That's all stuff. So today's mini to do. Add texture for BG frozen JPEG after merging tiles work. That shouldn't, I didn't see anything that would have affected that. While running display server. I'll just ask him. I'll just ask, rename any particle resources in your Dropbox. Alright, so anyway, let me just see if the display client is still working. So I need another window. Okay. Let's see. I need to go to localhost 3000, and then I need to go and run the display client. And so now these are synchronized. I'm shipping a display list back and forth, or just from one place to the other place. Let me move this on the bottom. Same with this. And one last thing, I'm still getting the same renderable issue. Wiki Frozen is missing. I don't think that got deleted. Alright, at least I know where to look on that. There is a cheapo array I set up. Particles, resources, VG frozen. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's actually the issue. But I had set up an array. And this is in mine. Okay, it seems to be missing from mine. Weird. Let me just confirm that. And go to in my Dropbox public step Dave particles resources. I see BG frozen here. Why isn't that loading? Is it just the wrong size? Oops. Ugh. Get info. It's 1024 by 1024. That might not be the one that's actually not displaying. Let's see, where is the background? Let's not use this. See if that affects anything. Okay, this is a server. At least one of those errors went away. Let's see if that missing one. This is the missing one. It's not telling me which one it is. And it says bad image data. That would be happening. Here I have a set background call. Let's just echo that console log JPEG. Alright, so it should be printing out then what's okay. That's BG frozen is good. BG wet is not good. Yeah. It's like my BG wet. BG wet is not in here. It's right there. It's like it didn't fetch that file. It's there. So this is, I guess, a problem still with Gulp not completely pulling up all the files. So once this reruns, I'm watching the terminal window right now. It's supposed to detect zero-length files. There's, for some reason, the download transport isn't reliable. So it can grab it. The URL's fine, but it's not serving it. So, okay. So if that's the case, let me go to server, media cache, blah, 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 ZG wet zero length. No, it's partially downloaded. Huh. So let me do that and CD play or dev play. Truncated download. So now when I rerun this, and when I rerun this side of things, oops, wrong one. This should refetch it. It's showing that it should be. No, I guess I have the media caching disabled, so. Or the. Well, this time it seems to be working. So there was a truncated download for some reason. That's not cool. I better put that in as an issue. Let's go back here. Oh. I guess I need to relaunch all this. GitHub, play. See, we still see those OpenGL issue errors. Oh, they're gone this time. I think they're gone. Why is okay? That's a known problem. So okay, so the splice list stuff is working. At least I've modularized the very minimum basics of it, and that's in a new module called display list. This no longer has that code in it. This needs to be refactored at some point. Is there a way of pulling out all the function listings out of this? I had written something. What was it called? It was called inspect module, and it was display list. This will dump out all of the public API methods. I just want to grab this. Actually, most of these are not interesting. Well, the public render and capture are the two things. I just copy this into this as my mini workspace. And set playback display list. This is like a sysloop. That's a sysloop module. All these are standard sysloop things. Those are the two functions. And I'll move this over the other side. Yeah. And so I can copy this to the second screen, so on this screen I can go over here. Now, was there a way of pulling out all the function listings out of a let's see, get list of functions in Sublime text. I mean, if this was Visual Studio, you would be able to do this, but someone must have written something to extract functions. Sublime text refactor. That's an interesting. Extract function. So I'm looking over here on the on a different browser, looking for something. There's something called a JavaScript refactor plugin. Go to definition of variable function, rename variable function, respecting its current scope. This sounds like it wouldn't work, but who knows? Oh, it runs a node. It's a node module. Oh wait, it's a Sublime module that relies on. I guess it's based. Will go across multiple files? I guess it doesn't have to. Sounds like an interesting module. Now I'm looking at extract Sublime. This looks really basic. I guess what I could just do is just look for anything that says function. Use a regular expression. If I remember how those work. Find what's the /b function? What's the white space? I mean, it's just function. Everything to the last parentheses. So greedy, but I'm terrible with regular expressions. Is it, which slash is it? I want everything. Is it plus? How do I plus? All right, now I look it up. How do you do a regular expression? Regular expression cheat sheet. Cheatography.com. Blah, blah, blah. One or more. Okay, period is the single character, I think. Any character. So I wanted this. Oops. Yeah. One or more, zero or more. I want zero or I just want one. One or more until it matches. one or more is plus. So it should be something like function plus. Oh, I need to turn on regular expressions too. That's probably what it is. Function plus that's what that is, right? Regular expressions. I want to go all the way to find escape the little character. I want to look for the last closing parentheses, I think. How do I escape a character? It is that. I'm terrible with regular expressions, so it should search for gobble all characters up to I'm missing something here. So it's grabbing everything that begins with function. Then I want to just gobble all the characters up until the last parentheses. Or actually maybe just even the first parentheses. So does it not grab white space by default? How come I'm not able to do this? Well, let's script kiddie our way through this. Reg expression extract function definitions. Reg is supposed to see function prototype declarations. Blah 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 blah. Why is this not answering the question? Some word. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want C style. Someone must have asked this. Yeah. Capture them and comment. Huh? I really just want a simple regular expression. I am not sure what I'm doing wrong with this. I guess I want to look for a white space. Could be something as basic as that. Plus S, now we got the white space. I guess I want it to, I don't think I want to do this. Is it any character as many times? Oh, wait, that's the modifier, isn't it? So I wanted to do something like this? Yes! All the way to the parentheses. Or rather this. But I don't want to include that. Alright, so I guess I would just do it like this. Nope, that's grabbing the... I wanted to grab everything to before the first parentheses. Actually, I guess I do want to include the back parentheses. Oops. Plus slash that. How come this is not working? So that one space, or this one space, and then this, we want to match any character one or more times. And it's going to where? And stopping when it hits the next space. Why is it stopping there? Actually, I don't think I can do it like this. I have that. I guess I could have it go all the way to the bracket. Oops. I don't want to include the bracket. How do I write an expression that grabs everything to the last? That's not working. Does the period grab everything except for white space? Oh, maybe it does. Any character except common meta characters. These all had to be escaped. Ungreedy pattern. One or more. Oh, maybe it's 0 or 1. Any character except new line. Any word. Character classes. Any why am I so dumb? Why is it? Am I escaping this wrong? That's the first space. That's the second space. I can't search for spaces. I guess I want to look for... I'm not sure why I can't just escape the parentheses and have it look for that. Shouldn't it just gabble everything after function space? Is it a reset because of this? Do I have to add this to it to make that work? Well, maybe this is good enough. So having selected that, I just want to select all of them, which I did not do. Did I do a multi-line select? Is this what that is? No, in selection, linked, whole, I mean it's whole word, that's screwing it up. Case sensitive. Where is it? It's not grabbing everything though. I had to do this. Find all. I didn't find any of these. Is it because that one is the only one that didn't have a space? Oh, this is dumb. Alright, find. I tried to turn that off. Let's copy this manually. It's stupid. I want to find every line that has a function in it. Because I just want a listing of great. If I go function, if I could just export this list. What if I can't do that? Oops, what did this do? Nope, didn't do anything. Maybe the thing to do would just be to type it in manually. So we have u file name, and we have u short uuid, and we have m construct. Mirror visuals, need to remember. F copy sprite props. F delete display entry. F scene add display visual. F scene remove display visual. We have F update mesh entry item. F update sprite entry item. Let's type that in. I'm just going to paste this up here. Just have the reference for this. I'm missing some. Copy sprite props. Item DDOIG. Let's see if I go back to that. Add function. Actually, I don't. Why is it not? Because it's not addressable? It's not showing me all of them. Function. Alright, so I think some of these mconstruct mirror visuals, that's a high level function. So is, for some reason, fscene remove visual. Why is this not showing me all of the... Is it because of that space at the end? That's probably what it is. Some weird parsing thing going on. Okay. Anyway, let's start the list over here. It's aggravating as it is. What time is it now? I start at 4, 1600 view, display list module. Oh, we also, let's say, accept pull request, merge. Let's call that was about 15 minutes, 16:15. Deduct the time I spent looking around for regular expressions. That technically isn't billable. So we'll go 16:30. View display list function. Create reference list. What time is it? 16:45. So I didn't bill for 15 minutes of screwing around looking for regular expressions. And what happens going on here? Oh, we ran off pool. Enable all this pool stuff. Pool checking. That's actually, why is it so crashing on me though? Refresh. Remove sprite for past object. Oh, that's because that's interesting. There's a synchronization issue. Whoa, what's going on here? So it's not happening a moment ago. what magic is it? It's happening on background changes. Did I accidentally screw something up? Oh, it looks like I did. Or did I? There. What line was that? That was line 243. That was just a stupid typo that got introduced. Okay. Alright, so what's the next state? So let me write down on this. Go to the back here. So I just sort of refamiliarized myself where I was on display mirroring. We have, what I like to do is just kind of write out by longhand what I'm thinking. I modularized display mirroring. And what you do is you call, what did I call it? Render and capture. Capture the render past dictionary and the viewport. And then you draw it using render and a display list. So let me think about this. So display mirroring kind of works. The next thing would be to port it to particles and see if that works too. So how to do that? Let's take a look at the particle game. Particles. And let's see, so that's running in a certain mode. And a lot of these things probably won't draw. The lines are new, those won't render. I only want to ship this. So I'm seeing this, these meshes probably need code. The sprite I think will just work as is. The markers will work, the lines won't. Uncaught need ID. Oh, it's because I have my clicking. Alright, so step 1 is to try to wedge the new display mirroring in. Hello, this is Dave.
Hi Dave, this is Kenyon calling from Hollis Vet. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm just calling to confirm Kat's appointment for tomorrow at 2:30.
Yep, confirmed.
Alright, perfect. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, bye.
Vet. So I need to wedge display mirroring into particles, which should be pretty easy. It won't work right off, but this will be a good test of the module approach. So let's see how I'm using it right now. It's called capture. So basically this function is what I need to copy. And I need to copy that into, what was it, particles default? Or default particles, I think. So that's, what's it called? It's called step. Step capture. Oh wait, step. Where is it? Step playback display. Display and it goes right here. I think I call it display list, right? Yes. Save that. So nothing's happening on this side because it's not getting any data. But oh, what's wrong here? Script error. Where's this up to? Is it just a... Where's the error? Is it in here? No? So, that's display list. Hooray for obtuse errors. Okay, so that's working. That's at least the module's imported. So then we just need to add this mbroadcast list thing. And it should say display mirror test. It's not called renderer here, it's probably called X renderer. X renderer. Ah. We should update these other modules so they use X renderer instead of renderer. But this theoretically, I shouldn't change anything yet because I haven't hooked it in. And then over in here, when do I call it? Broadcast display list is called when. Here, it's calling it during M update. Do I even have an M update in this? I have an M update UI. Initialize load assets. Start. Get input update. Add display list. Test. And broadcast display list. Okay. So it looks like at least it's setting the background. That was set immediately, but the markers, it just immediately ran out of them and crashed. So I'll enable auto add to this in the server, or the client, display client. Where's that crash happening? Sprite return, where I created it. Where's the pool creator? No, I need to look in display list. I might need to modify that. Render, draw, construct mirror visuals, new pool, size is only 10, auto, is it auto add? Pool.js. Maybe get 5. at 5 at a time. So hopefully it won't run out of resources this time. Oh, it did run out of resources. Because I'm saying the size only to 10. This should be the difference in max size, though. Oh, I didn't do it in, I did it for the sprite pool, but I didn't do it for the marker. I might do it. Come on, work. Well, there's something's happening. They're not moving. So what do we get? 77 display list objects. Oh. And this is a sprite. I didn't draw though. I guess I got some debugging to do here. Let's look at all of these. These look like they're sprites. That's a sprite. That's also a sprite. There's at least 2 of them. It could be that the world coordinates are different. This is a marker. It's not visible. Let's get a fake track instance working. So we see these. Those aren't being transmitted. Let's put this back into play macro game. Let's refresh this. So all the resources. And so that's not actually working. Let's go switch back to display server. That's working. Let's go back to particles. Reset everything. It removed all the meshes that were no longer being addressed. I wonder if it's because maybe it's adding them and removing them? I should have seen that data though. Or the coordinate systems are bad. According to this, the output transforms. We're only seeing these. And they're ranging from, the game world here is 12 by 12. I think this game world is actually 1024 by 1024. So, let me try this area. So everything is probably being concentrated in this tiny little place. Let's go back to a different. I haven't yet shipped all the. Yeah, in fact, you can see they're all kind of swirling around in there. Yeah, they're actually moving. They're just compressed into one place. So what I had to do is. I'm not even showing the screen. Sorry. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm looking over here. You can see those are kind of moving around. They're all in the middle of the place because this is using a different coordinate system than the left side here. So, my bad. So one thing I need to do is I need to ship the renderer setup. Let's confirm what the renderer setup is. So if I look at my source code, there is in display server up here probably, and construct, nope, and initialize. We have the following. Oops. To initialize the renderer, we need basically this object. We need to do all this. So these are the essential ones, I think. We don't have moving cameras yet, so I don't need to do that. The essential thing is to just initialize the renderer. So I guess display client, this has to be a special message, I think. Thinking. Why is it showing this screen? Okay. Thinking. So what I want to do is somehow determine when I'm shipping the renderer configuration over. And this needs to be part of the display list. So the display list processor is happening during render. Render gets a display list. And display list looks like line 77. Display list looks like this. This is the capture thing. Right now, here's the rough code for it. It pushes an object that has a UUID, RPass, all these kind of things. Probably what I want to do is, well, how's the render pass being initialized even? I think I'm letting the clients handle it. Yeah, here. So there's some calculation I need to do. If I just even set this to 12, that actually might allow me to see what's going on. Oops, or not. Oh, everything's too big. Let's look at default particles, its initialization, composite scaled, its render width and height is 347.62. Oops, what's this? Let's copy that over. Oops, screwed that up. Let's see if it mirrors. Now though, this is much larger now. Why is that? The radiuses are not being set for marker sprites. Let's see if we can find a marker sprite. Here's our marker. Its radius is 0.3. This one visible? Nope. How many of them? That one's visible. I think these are the actual... What are these? This is another marker of type mesh. This is visible. So I have to translate the coordinate systems. See if I screw around with these a bit. It's making it bigger. What was it before? It was 720, 720, 720. The world units should have worked. That's the display server. Display client. Default particles. It's running in scaled mode. Console scaled. Rendered mode. It's really close. It's the world units are different. I'm not sure why this didn't work. Display client. And this one, we're seeing everything small. In fact, it's probably about the right size for what it's supposed to be. So it's probably like a weird interaction, but no, I guess they're kind of large. Oh, maybe not. But there's some scale factor that's coming in. If I have this, will they get bigger? They do get bigger. Oh, it's probably the transfer that's screwing this up. So what I'm getting, I think, is our pure... Yeah. I'm getting the raw coordinates from that. And to translate it to this side, I actually need to scale them up. So I think maybe what I need to do... Let me just do a quick evil test. During display list, update mesh entry. Did I clean this up too? It's getting a bunch of these things. Vision is this. Let's just multiply it by 10 and see what happens. Let's confirm that it's like a scaling issue. Okay, so now we're getting something. So the difference between 720 and 12 is what? 720 divided by 12. It's a factor of 60. I think that's wrong, but let's see what happens. That's gonna be, I don't think we're gonna see anything. No. No, is it right? It's a little bit too big. No, that's about right. So the particles are coming across. The lines aren't being rendered because those are unrecognized types. I think I had some code. Hack. Need to translate original chords to new chords in world. What we can make of that. Xform. Although I would have thought that if I initialized the render on the right side in the exact same way as the left side, those should have plotted correctly. The only thing I can think of is that the control on this side is not right. Or rather this p-track stuff. Let me see if I can enable controls for that. I don't think I'm using UI bind for this though. That's probably why. This display server is using UI bind. I'm not using that, am I? Update, start, load assets. I need to include UI bind. UI bind. Step UI bind, I think it's called. Or is it UI underscore bind? Step UI underscore bind. Oops, no. I don't think that'll work. So now we have this controller. We're seeing the fake track. I need to add another call. I need to add, where is it? The update. Update tracker pieces, show UI piece information. It's under input though. Is an input part of this? I need to move that out, I think. Because no inputs are coming in. That's right. Alright, so there is no transfer happening because there actually is no transform in the client display mirror. Because no xform. No, wait, that makes no sense. That only, the transform only applies to inputs. Inputs are only the tracker pieces that are KID controlled. The particles are NPC particles. They should be generating their own coordinate system. And they're in the local camera space. It's probably the camera setup. No, the camera setup should track with the initialization. Just check camera setup. So I might as well just ship the entire camera setup and renderer setup. I need to ship that over as well. So I need to modify the protocol that I'm doing that with. So that's actually my next step. Modify renderer protocol. Renderer setup. Yeah, modify renderer setup. Modify the display list setup. To ship camera and renderer init, and that means remove from the actual setup. Well, maybe not. Client. No, I guess I can just change it. So the interesting thing though, if I'm rendering the display list module can only work with systems that don't use the renderer to draw directly. Oh no, that's not true. I can still initialize the renderer and still draw on it, but it's not going to be as they're both going to have to use the same coordinate system. Oh, or maybe not. There might have to be a new layer. The same coordinate system need to be used for mirror and local. Because my module creates and removes visuals that are shipped over from the other side. It should be okay to add my own new visuals, and they should be able to coexist. However, the coordinate systems may not be compatible because, for example, particles over here, this is using a world size of 12. This over here is using a world size of 720. So this is like pixel resolution, and this is logical resolution here. I multiplied it by 60 just to see if like it was shipping this data over properly. But then if I wanted to add annotations on top of this, and maybe I just assume that the mirrored displays are using 720 resolution. And then I just apply a multiplying factor, because that would make it easier just to throw annotations or anything else that needs to be on top of a mirrored display. I think. Let me undo what I just did here. We don't need units, we don't need that. Take out the UI bind call. Oops. What happened here? UI bind is not defined again. Let me just save that. Oh, what's going on? Oh, so I have to remove this load assets thing. I should fix that. Yeah, right. Okay, so what did I do for the past 30 minutes? 1645. Drop display list module into particles, see what it did. What's my... This might be a good time to take a break. Let me update what I was just doing here. Alright, so today is what? I guess I'm keeping this continuity here. I've been doing stuff though. Let me update this log here. After November 29, we had November 30th. According to my notes, it looks like I add delinting support to build system. And then on December 1st, we did I consulted with Ben for 15 minutes. That's nothing. On Friday, December 2nd, some pull request stuff, but also did moved display list code from display client JS to its own module playback display list JS. And then today is December 5th, which is Monday. And what did I do other than meetings and stuff? Drop display list into particles game to see what it did. Just to come up with a list of issues to observe and see what needed doing. And what I need to do is, which is ship renderer and cameras set up somehow. Assume a fixed 720 by 720 target resolution for mirrored displays. Handle the coordinate transformation or translation. Yeah, transformation works. Ensure that if the renderer chassis camera setup doesn't fix the problem. Alright, so I think this is a good time to take a break, and I will eat dinner and then maybe come back to this later. I just kind of want to sit this, let this sit for a little bit in my head. So it's been about an hour, and yeah, I guess I'm kind of sleepy, so I'm staring at the code for so long. Although it was only an hour. In my younger days, I could have gone for 12 hours, but I don't know. Alright, so maybe I'll be back a little later. Thanks for watching. I'll put this in my co-working archives for people to play while they're working and keep you company.